What's up everyone, David here. Welcome back to McSolaar TV. Hope you guys are having a great day. This is gonna be a different kind of video for a different kind of plugin. Music Hack releases Sweet EQ. And first of all, you will probably ask, why do I need another EQ? Well, first of all, because this is not just an EQ. Like I said, a different kind of plugin. And you'll probably wonder, well, how do you even know? Well, because I was lucky enough to have a little bit of input in the making of this plugin and help the Music Hack guys creating Sweet EQ. In fact, before diving into the sounds and the features and the knobs and the GUI, I'm gonna play you a little bit of behind the scene of the making of this plugin and me talking to the Music Hack guys and creating this plugin. So this is what is gonna play now. We actually collected all the behind the scene for this video. If you wanna skip this part and go straight into the walkthrough of the plugin, the controls and the audio examples, I'll put the timestamp here that you can click on, but I thought this would be interesting for you guys to see. I'll see you after it. Because of the Adema's album that I'm doing, I just started it and Blabbermouth pick up the news, so it's like freaking everywhere now. No pressure on me, right? Like now, but it's cool. Like it's amazing. Like everything is great.
So, what are your thoughts on Sweet EQ?
I really like it. I like that it's very, very simple and intuitive. That's kind of, I think, what is really useful for the audience nowadays. You know, especially for the vast majority of people at home. I really love the simplicity of it, and it sounds good. Like, all your stuff sounds good. So that is not a surprise. But I have it in here in front of me.
You kind of implemented it in your workflow currently.
So right now I just tested it on my test Pro Tools project. Okay. I do that with everything. Like before I implement something for an actual mix for a client or something, I want to spend some time with it and get very familiar. I do this with hardware, I do this with everything. You know, when I actually mastered it and digest it to the point in which I know that I go to that plugin as a go-to, right? As opposed to experiment and trying to fit it. That's when things start to get into my actual workflow. I really, really like the low end. I would actually have a suggestion for the low end because for example, I really liked it on kicks. Okay. So I don't know, it sounds like a resonant filter for the low end and maybe a little bit of saturation, whatever that is under the hood. I really like it.
Saturation and EQ in particular combination. So when you hear tones that are lower, if that happens, it's part of the intermodulation distortion that would come from the saturation.
The mid-range.
We need a new name. We're working on a new name for the harden knob.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's a terrible, terrible name. But essentially that kind of affects that sort of upper mid-range. It almost feels like a transient shaper when it's cranked up. And I think actually it should probably start higher than it is so that it has more of that effect to begin with.
Right. Have you tried that on kicks too, or drums?
I did try it on drums, yeah, absolutely. I tried it on both acoustic drums and I tried it on electric kits or trap drums. So let me ask you this. Is the harden always on, right? Because like if I press it, it doesn't turn off.
It shouldn't be, right?
Well, those are just tweaks to the
broadband. So
they're tweaks to the mid control. So if the mid's on, harden's on, because harden is just part of that.
Yeah, what I'm saying is if you start it at 50%, you're giving me a color that is always there no matter what.
Oh,
right?
No, it's only there if the mid range is also turned up.
My issue with that starting that high, like you said, like let's start it at 50-60%, is that sometimes I don't want that much.
Right. I have a thought here, which is also that it goes both ways. Like it's just that the middle is in a weird spot. It actually starts off totally neutral, and if you go left, it softens, and if you go right, it hardens. So we could move that neutral point to 12 o'clock because that's normal. Yeah. Like what idiot other than me puts 0 at 30%? I mean, like that was just, what am I thinking? And then it would make it clear that like when it's centered, it's actually 0.
That's it. That's 100% what we need. Yeah, that's super easy. Tell me about the high frequency, something going on under the hood for that?
High is weird. He has them with the names changed. That high is what lift used to be right now. What he has.
Oh,
so it's lift.
Okay, it's lift.
So high technically is a multi-band compressor.
Okay.
But it's done in a way that, Stan has tuned and talked with me about, where it doesn't affect the low range, because if it did, it would clobber whatever you did
with the low knob, obviously.
So it's just the high mids, or like mid to high mids, and the highs. And it helps even them out. And that has the effect of making it sound like you have more energy in the highs.
Of course.
Not using an EQ, because usually when people throw EQs in the highs and high mids, they create problems. Brittleness, other weird stuff, S's get strange. But using this kind of compression doesn't create those kinds of problems. So it's funny because it's not technically an EQ, but it sits there in between adding air and pushing some knock in the mid-range.
Can you tell me a little more about what's the action of this multiband compressor? Like, are we talking fast attack or upward compression, hard knees?
The attacks are fairly quick. The releases are on the slow side.
I'm looking, let me check something else.
Do you have any vocals too you can kind of test it out on?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have everything here.
You're my one and only.
Okay, the air, it's fantastic for vocals in general. The high, it's kind of a hit or miss depending on...
Oh, what a beautiful Sunday.
It's still like halfway up to 50% is a safe bet on everything. I never heard it behaving unnaturally or sounding too much. If you go past that, but that's, again, user choice, it can be...
Oh, what a beautiful Sunday.
Slightly mushy on the S's on the hard consonants, but that's, again, you're not really supposed to crash it to 100% of the vocal. So,
but parameter ranges is like a ridiculous amount of the work that goes into the plugins. Like Stan and I work on the actual DSP circuit, and it gets to where we want, and then we have to spend forever modifying the sweet spots.
Right.
Another way we can do it is sort of change the way that it moves, so that maybe up to 80% is really up to 50%, and then the last 20% just goes real hard.
That's actually something I was about to ask. So if I understand correctly, the parameters change as we turn the sliders up. It's not like a fixed sets of parameters and then you just push it, right?
Yeah, a lot of work goes into like from here to here, move like this.
Right.
From here to here, move like that,
So I guess if we loosen up a little bit and we make it a little more loose in the 50 to 70%, and then we leave the last bit to like crushing, because the crushing is cool on loops and other things, even electric guitars. Or the other option would be maybe to slow down a little bit the release at the very, very top, because that's usually what makes it a little
mushy. I don't want the word you used, right?
Yeah.
So when you say mushy, what are you hearing exactly that's kind of happening?
Yeah, that's like always the hard part.
Like in this case, for example, this vocals, which is very, very clean, it feels like the hard consonants, the S's, the T's, the K sounds gets a little fried. But we are talking about if I push the high over 60% and really in the last bit. It just might be because it's too much compression and you're not just supposed to go there with a vocal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, because at the end of the day, like it's borderline impossible to make. I mean, the best thing we can do, I think, it's to make the sweet spot as wide as we can.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's not gonna cover 100% of the audio scenarios, in every genre for everybody. So keep in mind that I have no metering whatsoever. I have a black GUI with a brown slide.
Yeah, exactly. We're working on that right now. But it's fun to see where people can get flying blind, because it shows like, look, how good is this in terms of like the way people just feel when they play it.
Is the goal when you're testing out these knobs, especially the high knob, is to try to get the vocal sitting in a certain place that you're used to with other plugins, or are you just listening to like the high end or the mid? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you listening for?
I'm comparing this to my favorite tools.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
In my head. So I know how can I get to brighten this particular vocal, which I recorded. So I know everything about it. Like I've been using it for testing for a long time. It's the air doing either better or easier job at getting the top end that I want on this.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And the air definitely does. The air with like calm around 1-2 o'clock, so 60% or more, it's arguably one of the coolest top lift, better sounding top lift.
Stan and I went back and forth on that one. That was
Yeah.
that was like the tape control on Master Plan, where it
Oh,
just
yeah,
was
yeah.
not right forever. So we worked really hard on that.
That is just a winning freaking thing that you just could sell just that. Just that, like a free or whatever. That is pretty magical.
Awesome.
When I'm lazy, I just, for example, open either Fab. I don't use FabFilter Pro Q3 or 4. I just don't use that EQ. But I like the MIDI keyboard so I can see what the note is. Which, by the way, could be a cool thing that we can think of putting in my GUI. When I move the pitch, I have the frequency, right?
Right.
Yeah,
We could put the frequency / the note.
that'd be really neat.
What about this? I just thought about this. Might be stupid or it might be not aesthetically pleasing, but we could put notes around the knob, and you can click the note. So you have the continuous variable tuning for the pitch, right? Or you can put the notes.
I got an idea. I don't know if it's super resonant at this. We could just make it. If you hold shift, it'll switch from going smoothly to frequency to hopping between notes. So instead of it doing the slow move, it's like, okay, you have the normal move, or if you hold shift, it'll like pop. It's like a hidden feature, but it'd be really useful, and it could be one of those things that's like great little short videos.
For sure.
Yeah, especially for EDM and all the genres like hip hop, where you have tuned 808s and tuned kicks like that.
Right.
That is like a cool, neat features.
Was there any point on the slider for high where on the vocals before you got to that point where it sounded mushy, where you were like, oh, this actually sounds close to this being EQ'd the way that I like?
Yeah, about 40% usually. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I would not want to complicate the plugin, And I think the trade-off here, it would kind of, I feel, take away the immediacy of that low control, maybe.
Do you like the idea of, as you increase the slider, kind of like a classic analog console, like the Q changes as you push it up, it kind of gets more narrow?
No, actually, no. I believe it or not, I'm not a fan of proportional EQs like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not something that I like constant Qs. As crazy as it sounds, I would do the opposite. Right? So I would start with this XQ, and the last part, the more pushed. To me, it's more logical to have it like loosen up the Q instead of making it narrower.
Yeah, you know what that also makes sense. It's like for the same reason why when you push the highs, you don't want it to get brittle.
Yeah, exactly.
What would be, do you think, the most useful thing to visually see?
I don't think precise visuals here are needed. Like, for example, on a clipper, I want to see down to the 0.1 dB where I'm clipping, right? Like, I want precise metering. I don't need fancy looking stuff. I want like actual readouts. This one, I think the best, I'm just talking style of visualization, would be just give me something that shows me the energy, the sweet spots, and what not to do, like where it gets too much.
Okay. Yeah.
Kind of the vibe that I would want to have from this. It's just a flow of energy more than precise reading, because that's what the plugin makes me feel.
It was really helpful to hear that, because it means like, okay, some things we have are on the right track and we can kind of build off of what we've got.
And that is cool also because we have a mix knob. So
yeah,
if you take a look at the whole thing and you see it's like, okay, I'm cooking it, and you back off just the mix knob and it gets to like a sweet spot color, which you just think of like a bluish or greenish color where it's considered safer. Very easy to read information. Other than that, that's all.
Well, we are going to leave skeuomorphic behind for this one, so it'll be a more flat design, which will give us much more creativity with regards to the meters.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm curious. I'm in a position in which whatever you give me more than this is going to be better. So that's
what I love about giving you.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that's it. Like overall, this is a great plugin that is just super simple and it just works.
Yeah.
It was great.
This is super fun too. Like,
really
it's great
helpful.
to just get feedback from somebody else that's mixing every day.
Literally going back after the call.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it was awesome. And, keep me in the loop.
Bro.
Take care.
See ya.
Have a good week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, so you saw a little bit of the making of and the suggestions that I had for this plugin. Let's switch to Pro Tools and let's see all the features, the controls, and of course, how it sounds. All right, Music Hack Sweet EQ. First of all, we have a resizable GUI, and we also have a bunch of different colors, which is super, super cool. You can change the GUI any way you want. You can see there's a lot of presets, a different color, different background, and the colors don't only change the look of it, but they also change the response of this here, our, let's say, visualizer. And you will see during this video that as you start moving the controls, that visualizer tell you where the energy is applied. It's not a meter that tells you numbers and precise information, but because Sweet EQ is mostly a plugin that is feel as opposed to precise control and number, I put myself in it as well, wanted to give you a metering that reflects that feel and that move knobs and just listen to it, and if it sounds good, leave it there, as opposed to give you precise numbers. So the different color schemes also change the visualization of that energy. That is very, very important. And if you click this arrow at the bottom, you can completely customize everything you want about the GUI. This is very, very cool. You can make whatever colors you want, both for the background and also for the meter. You can see right there. So if you want to do all black, if you want to change the color of the sliders, if you want to change anything about the GUI, you can completely customize this. You can change the scale sliders. You can change and randomize everything. Just click in here and we'll randomize it. You click back on the GUI to hide that panel. And we start with the controls. We have an input level right here, an output level at the top right, bypass button, oversample that you can simply turn on and off by clicking here, unity button if you want perfect level matching, because nobody can mix without it, obviously. And then we have the clipper, which can be turned on and off right here. Our visualizers also says 020K right here, because you have a high pass and a low pass filter right here in these brackets in transparent in the background, okay? And you can also drag it right here. These are simple, very musical, high pass and low pass filter. And let me start by saying this, Sweet EQ is so simple and efficient and musical that I cannot find an application where it doesn't fit. Although it's very simple, we have 4 sliders basically and a mix knob. Every section we have low density, lift and high, and then we'll see the pitch and calm are much more than one processing. Each processing here has a lot of functions and a lot of parameters going on. When you turn the low, the density and the lift, there's many things happening at the same time. And so you'll see whether you use all 4 sliders or just the low end on a kick or a bass or just the lift or the highs on a vocal. This is such a versatile and musical plugin that I never found an application in which I thought it was wrong. This is to say, it's a lot of bang for the bucks. And we start with our 4 main sliders, low, with the pitch control, density, mix knob in the middle, and then lift and high with the calm control. I'm gonna show you this first slider with a super, super simple loop because I want you just to focus on the kick and how well it retains the transient while literally reshaping the low end. And of course, the slider gives you the intensity of the effect, and the pitch in this case, you can see says 40 Hertz, lets you decide where the corner frequency is. So Right, super simple, super efficient. This feels like a couple of my favorite tools that I used to do a resonant cut at the bottom, so you eliminate the sub energy that you don't need or is not functional for the specific track, or mix to clean up the sub energy and add that focus low end. And your HPF filter literally starts at 0, so you can be as precise as you want when further shaping the low end if needed. I'll give you another example on a mix that could use actually a little more low end. Sounds absolutely great, just this. Then we have the density knob. This is self-explanatory, the name says it all. Density does exactly that, so. Please notice something. The peak level, it's pretty much the same, and you have so much more perceived loudness. And of course, there is a little bit of a level increase, but the ratio, you might have 2 dB of nominal level increase, but you also have like 3 dB of LUFS more, which is crazy, right? This is just simple as it gets. It's only one control. You can hear it pushes things in front, but it doesn't really change the color that much. It's pretty faithful to the original source. We can use it on something a little more clean and minimalistic, so you can hear in action on something else. Okay, I want to give you just more examples, because this is the video. It's just showing you on different material what each knob does, and then we'll do a combination of all of them.
It's all over creation. That's why bonus sing about the moderation. On behalf of all the people down there, so when you suffer, one way ball out to all the living get tougher. Them judgment throw them me utter. Talk it loud, me not stutter. Every morning, big guys wake up to bread and butter, and not give a damn about the picnic in the gutter. We sleep last night with no supper, and all the while the shit still keep on getting tougher. Me no know about them one. Yo, them no care about the newborn or the hungry boat where I yarn. Out of them same boat, you box the gun, and no listen when me want. So me say Babylon.
And let's introduce the lift. This is sort of a multi-band dynamic control that helps you even out the high mid-range and top end, a very, very sensitive range, and a lot of people has problem with it, to make it appear like you have more energy there, but is at the same time more controlled. Again, a lot of things are happening under the hood.
Your eyes, they shine an emerald green, and into your lungs they breathe bittersweet. Take our chances on the stormy sea. Break the ice and see what we could be. Don't want us to be a mystery. If only all your life, if only all your life, if only all your life shone.
One important thing, you will find some presets here, and there's one that is called Sweet Mix Bus, and you will see that the amount are very, very conservative. 3% here, a little more on the low end, the density, but this gives you an idea of how efficient and effective it is. A little goes a long way. I am exaggerating settings here, especially on $2 or for mastering purposes. These are way too high of settings, but so you can hear it. And then we have the highs. The high is my second or first in chronological order, but it might be my favorite of all 4 sliders. We have a slider for the amount, and then we have a calm slider underneath. This does exactly what you expect it to do. So you're boosting the top end, and at the same time you're smoothing out those harsh elements and the top end, and it works like a charm.
Your eyes, they shine an emerald green, and into your lungs they breathe bittersweet. Take our chances on the stormy sea. Break the ice and see what we could be. Don't want us to be a mystery. If only all your life.
I'm gonna use everybody's favorite mix every time we use this for plugins or hardware. You guys love this so much, so I'm just gonna play with it so you can hear it in action in various settings.
Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I am whole again. Whenever I'm alone with you, you make me feel like I am fun again. However far away, I will always love you. However long I stay, I will always love you. Whatever words I say, I will always love you. I will always love you.
Look, I even use the Unity function for the level police and those who can't stand not level matching. I think this plugin, it's great exactly because of this. There's not much to say or to show. These are the controls. I'm gonna put it back down and we try on a full drum kit, acoustic drum kit. it's clear on this drum kit, the difference between the lift and the high, okay? I'm just gonna boost one and lower the other, and you pay attention to hi-hat and snares of the snare when I turn up the high, and click of the kick drum and crack of the snare when I turn up the lift. You can hear the difference clearly, what regions they affect the material. I'm gonna do vocals last.
Oh, what a beautiful Sunday. Want you to know you're the one that I love. Heard that it sounds like a cliche, but you're my one and only. Oh, what a beautiful Sunday. Want you to know you're the one that I love. Heard that it sounds like a cliche, but you're my one and only. Oh, what a beautiful Sunday. Want you to know you're the one that I love. Heard that it sounds like a cliche, but you're my one and only. Oh, what a beautiful Sunday. Want you to know you're the one that I love. Heard that it sounds like a cliche, but you're my one and only. Oh, what a beautiful Sunday. Want you to know you're the one that I love. Heard that it sounds like a cliche, but you're my one and only.
That is pretty sweet. Pun intended. This was Music Hack New Sweet EQ. I think this plugin is pretty cool. You're gonna find the link in the info box down below. I hope you liked the video. I hope you liked the behind the scene. I'm probably gonna post something exclusively for member and post more of the background story and the behind the scene of the making of this plugin. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you liked the video, please don't forget to leave a like. If you have questions, leave them in the comment as well. If you want to book mix and mastering with me, go to the website mixplustv.com. In there, all the mix and mastering courses. Become a MixPlusTV member. Don't miss the exclusive content in here. Click the join button. If you want to support the channel, please consider using super thanks or grab some merch. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Stay safe. See you next time.